So yesterday, SDS announced the reveal date for the cover athlete, which is coming on January 30th. And this new information is very helpful for when we're thinking about MLB The Show 23, when it will release, and when we will get news about new features in the game. So in this video, I will give a timeline for when we got feature reveals and other reveals last year for MLB 22. And now that we know the cover athlete reveal date, I think we get very similar reveal times for MLB The Show 23. But I will get into all of the specifics here shortly, so be sure to stick around through the end. And I think next week we also should be getting a feature reveal schedule from SDS, so be on the lookout for that, and I will have a video on it when we know the details about the schedule. And whenever we get any new announcements about MLB The Show 23, I'll be making videos on that, so be sure to subscribe and follow along so you stay up to date on everything. But now let's get right into what we're going to talk about first, which is what most people are talking about right now, and that's the cover athlete announcement. So MLB The Show 22 was released on April 5th with early access on April 1st, and the cover athlete was announced on January 31st. And now we know that MLB The Show 23 cover athlete will be announced on January 30th. So just a day difference between the 2022 announcement and the 2023 announcement. And I think this helps us when we think about what the timeline for when MLB 23 feature reveals will happen, which I will lay out for you guys here in a second. We also got the first MLB The Show 22 gameplay trailer on February 9th, so about a week and a half after the announcement of the cover athlete. So I would expect the MLB The Show 23 gameplay trailer, maybe not next week, but most likely the week after. But who knows, it could be later in the week, next week. It's hard to say exactly, but I would expect that we do see the pre-order bonuses for 23 and versions of the game of MLB 23 next week, shortly after the cover athlete announcement. So I know a lot of you guys are probably wondering when we got Diamond Dynasty news. So we got very minimal information about Diamond Dynasty for MLB 22 at the beginning of February. I think we were just pretty much told that mini seasons was going to be added in, but we weren't really given many details about that or really anything else. But otherwise, we got more Diamond Dynasty info later in some of the premiere streams. But the first news drop for Diamond Dynasty, I believe, was around February 20th. It might have been like the 21st, 22nd of February. And then we got more Diamond Dynasty news in the feature premiere stream around the end of March as well. And if there's new legends being added into MLB 23, which I would imagine we get some, last year they started sharing some of these in mid-February and then basically announced some like up until the release date. And just in general, when we look back at previous years of MLB The Show games, the timeline for news about the new game and modes like Diamond Dynasty, Franchise, Road to the Show, and others starts a little while after the cover athlete gets announced, maybe about a couple weeks, and then they slowly release info over the course of February and March, basically just trying to build hype by releasing new info slowly over time. And I wouldn't really expect much of this to change for 23, and a lot of those dates that I mentioned previously won't be the exact dates for when MLB 23 news will drop, but it at least gives us a good feeling for around when we could see things be announced for 23. I'm sure they'll still do the feature premiere streams too, and these streams started in the middle of February last year. And in case you guys don't know what the feature premiere streams are, so it's basically some of the devs come on a stream, and each stream they show off some of the new features in a specific game mode, and then in another stream they'll show off, other features in a different mode, and they usually have a stream or two on more general things too, like, gameplay and animation changes in the new game. So these streams will be something to be looking forward to while we wait for the release of the game itself, and will give us a nice sneak peek into what to expect out of the game, and also, the different game modes like Diamond Dynasty, for example. The tech test is also another thing that's important to mention, I think, and I think we should see it for 23, as we saw one last year for 22, and the one for MLB 22 started on February 17th, and I think it lasted a few days or maybe a week, and I also want to mention that for participating in the tech test, everyone got a free pack, Diamond Dynasty pack. So if you guys are Diamond Dynasty players, you got I think it was a free gold player. But at the start of the year, a free gold player is pretty decent. So that's something to note and to be looking forward to for the tech test. I would imagine they reward us in some way for participating in the tech test. And again, that is assuming we do have a tech test for 23 as well, but who really knows at this point. But I hope this timeline of when we got announcements and reveals for last year's game was helpful. Now that we know the cover athlete reveal date for 23, it's basically the same thing as last year, the same day, just a day apart. I think the reveal dates for everything else should be very similar to last year's game, but we will find out more about this probably next week, like I said in the beginning, when they show us the new feature reveal schedule, which hopefully we will get next week. And as I mentioned in the intro, whenever we get any new announcements about anything MLB The Show 23 related, I'll be making videos on that, so be sure to subscribe and follow along so you stay up to date on everything. And you're not going to want to miss any of that because we're going to be getting a ton of information here in the next month or two on, everything MLB The Show 23 related, new features, new game modes, and hopefully new changes to gameplay as well. We'll see about that. I feel like normally every year they add in like one new thing to gameplay, but not sure how much it really helps out the overall gameplay, but we'll see. But yeah, that'll be it for this one, guys. I do appreciate all of you guys for watching and sticking around until this point. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.